what the Kedai Menteri Besar's proposal on the Pulau airport. You mentioned yesterday that the first phase is going to kick off as a cargo airport only because the Pinang airport is unable to handle the capacity. So, and that also cargo movement in Pinang airport has actually reduced considerably by 10% annually. So just want to get your...
Do you have the figures?
I think we're just trying to verify figures, but our initial record shows that between 2008 and 2014, our CAGR drop is 4%, not 10%.
No, but what about 2013 to 2014?
2013 to 2014, there was a drop of 8%. 8%.
And then 2014 to the first 3 months?
The first 3 months we don't have that.
Yeah. We look at air cargo. If you, as I said, we got to sort out the numbers properly. But if you look at the logistics company that are opening up in Penang, more and more logistics companies are opening up. And not only are more and more logistic companies opening up, the existing ones are also expanding. Are you aware of that? What are the names of those who have opened up new ones? TNT expanded, isn't it? Then the new one is what? No, what are the new ones? There's one new one that I opened yesterday. So there are new ones that have expanded. Nippon Express, even bought by them to merge to expand. And then you have TNT, you have FedEx, what else?
Skypack.
I don't know. Schenker, DB Schenker. I don't know where Skypack is. I just check and see. But these are companies that have expanded. And logistics company would not expand their operations in Penang unless they got increased volume to transport. And we know that the manufacturing industry has actually expanded by double-digit growth last year for Penang. So to say the air cargo has dropped, I do not know whether they are talking in terms of volume or value. I think there is a very strong distinction. Volume and value is different. So sometimes when you talk, you must talk sense. You must talk sense. Value, I'm sure, has increased, or else you will not find this logistics company expanding or new logistics company opening up. So I would say that these comments about air cargo movements may not be accurate. At the same time, you must also look at the air passenger movement. You know, last year for 2014 compared to 2013, the air passenger movements increased by 10%. We were doing around 5.5, slightly less than 5.5 million passengers in 2013. 2014, we had more than 6 million passengers, a 10% growth. And this is, I think, one of the highest growth for an airport. Bearing in mind that last year was a terrible and tragic year for Malaysia. We had 3 airline disasters. They are talking about a number of passengers going down. For us, all passengers went up. Even China also went up. China was one of the strongest markets. It went up, I think, by 60%. China, the number of tourists coming to Pinang went up by around 60%. So the airport has seen increasing usage, and I'm sure that the time has come for expansion. Look at it in terms not just of volume but also in value. And if you ask anyone, you look at the location, you look at the opportunity, I'm sure at the moment Pinang is much more superior compared to any other place in the northern region of Malaysia. Penang is still the preferred destination compared to anywhere in Kedah or Perlis. So are we not going to try to expand our existing advantage rather than to spend a lot of money starting from zero. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Just as our Datri Nazir, he always wants to play games at the city stadium, because that is the most central location. Ask him, why don't you go to Batu Kawan Stadium? He says city stadium. Everyone wants a city stadium. So why? Because it's an existing location that is a preferred and it is popular. So similarly for airports, when Pinang is already preferred and popular, I think you should be expanding it. You want to build a new one, that is up to the federal government. That is between the federal and the state government. We are only asking the federal government to expand the existing airport, and we are willing to accept competition. But do not neglect and do not treat the Pinang International Airport like a stepchild. Don't treat it like a smack child. Jangan anaktirikan lapangan terbang Antarabangsa Pulau Pinang. Kalau nak bina baru, itu terpulang kepada kerajaan pusat masing-masing. Tapi jangan anaktirikan lapangan terbang Antarabangsa Pulau Pinang yang sekarang hampir mencapai kapasiti, perlunya diperbesarkan. Kalau tidak berbuat demikian, saya rasa mereka hanya apa ni itu, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. So ini hanya makan diri saja. Kalau dengan buat demikian, kerana faktor-faktor lain, akhirnya yang rugi ialah diri sendiri, negara hanya akan makan diri saja. Yeah.
Do not build white elephants. There's too many white elephants in the country.
Hear from the advice from a corporate captain. Do not build white elephants. Thank you, Dr. Sri.
But it's a cargo airport, right? So there is a demand for it, as Dr. Sri Mukri said that.
No, but can it exist in isolation? When you talk about cargo airport, you're talking about logistics. Logistics must be near to the place where existing industry is. It cannot exist in isolation. You look at the existing airport, it's near to industry. You're going to put it somewhere in the middle of jungle. I don't think you are going to attract any business.
But you'll be serving the northern region.
Yeah, but you will not attract
Like
business.
Park
Right?
and
People will still
Pinang.
prefer an existing preferred location. If that's the case, then you must just stay in the middle of the jungle somewhere there. You want to not? You wouldn't. You still want to stay in the existing familiar place. Okay, your turn, Susan.
You mentioned hundreds of acres of reclamation. That's
For the airport,
For the
yes.
airport.
Southern tip, yes.
okay. That's inclusive of the 600 million that you're asking for to be
No,
spent.
because
is it?
no, this 600
Expenditure as
million, we estimate the cost to be 600 million. We hope that they can carry out the expansion project. And if the complaint is that there's not sufficient land, we have hundreds of acres of reclamation available for the airport, if they so wish.